It is brutally windy out. So bad. That's so good. Your brain is very good at following instructions. Unfortunately, most of the time, you're giving it the wrong instructions. And how are you doing that? Well, you're doing that with the wrong thoughts. If you allow your thoughts to run wild, well, many of those thoughts are going to fuck up your game. Now, I'm gonna talk to you about, I don't know, I always say a number, I never stick to the number, but let's say 7. I'm gonna tell you 7 different thoughts that are likely to ruin your game that most people do almost every time they play. So bad. Sound good? One of the first shots that most people automatically ruin themselves with is the tee shot. And you start off getting over the tee. You're thinking about the last time you played where you just shanked it right. And you think, all right, don't hit it right. Don't hit it right. Don't hit it right. Hit it right. Hit it right. And what are you gonna do? Well, you're either gonna hit it right or you're going to overcompensate and hit it way left. And why do you do that? Well, your brain is either doing one of 2 things. It's either only hearing, hit it right. It doesn't really understand don't a lot of the times. Or the anxiety and the fear of hitting it right is going to cause you to overcompensate and your body is going to do everything in its power to not hit it right. So it's really a coin flip on, is it listening to hit it right? Or is it really listening to the full message of don't hit it right? And you're gonna hit it way left. It's a very common thought. It's a similar thought to, don't think of a polar bear drinking a Coca-Cola. What are you thinking about? You want your brain to listen to the instructions that you are giving it. And you want those instructions to be very good. So I want to think, all right, hit it in the fairway. It's not to say that it will happen, but at least I'm telling my body what I want it to happen, and I'm giving it the instructions to hopefully follow. And I hit it to the left side of the rough, but we're safe. And that's what matters. It's not out of play. I'm not thinking don't hit it right, don't hit it left, don't hook it, don't shank it. Don't say don't. You get it. So our brains are just, sometimes they're just not in sync with each other, which is fine. Unfortunately, that's why you need to give it a very specific set of instructions on what you want it to do. So I'm thinking hit a draw here. I'm not thinking don't hook it to the left, don't fade it to the right. All I'm envisioning is what I want this ball to do. It's not to say that it's gonna happen, but at least I'm giving my body the instructions of this is what I want it to do. Let's see if you can execute it. Well, I did hit a draw. A little bit. Oh, it's short, so it's fine. The rough came in handy. Sometimes the instructions will be a shot shape. Sometimes the instructions will be a target. If I was envisioning, all right, hit this number last time, well, maybe the shot shape wouldn't have been, what I needed it to be. Sometimes I really only need to focus on contact. For wedges, the set of instructions that I need to give it is distance and contact. And that was great contact, and that's a great chip. And we're happy. There we go, tap that in for par. Man, I can't stand this tee. I can't stand this hole, man. I miss it every single time. I'm not gonna get it this time. It's just gonna end up in the bunker that I always end up on. That thought is automatically going to ruin your hole. Most of the time, if you play a course, maybe your home course, take for example, you may have a kryptonite hole where things just ain't working for you, which is fine. It's not always gonna work. However, the thought that is going to defeat you on this is automatically setting yourself up for failure before you even hit a shot. If I struggle with this hole every single time, automatically, my automatic thought is what we call it, is going to be, this is gonna go bad. I don't want that thought to be a reality for me. Not today, right? Maybe things will be a little bit different today. I don't know. But I need to tell myself, instead of telling myself, all right, every single time I miss this green, I end up making a bogey, a double bogey, whatever it is, I want to tell myself today is the day that I actually landed on the green, that I conquer this hole, that I make this hole my bit. Is that gonna come true? I don't know, maybe. Oh, I didn't land it on the green. The wind really took it. I should have clubbed up like 2 clubs. But that was a great strike. That was a pure strike. I just didn't calculate the wind into my calculation. Now, if you're in a situation on the hole where you're like, oh, I always hit it into those trees out of bounds on this hole. Well, there's the reality that you need to take into consideration. One, why am I doing that? Am I choosing the wrong club for me off this hole every single time? Maybe it's not a driver hole. Maybe it's not a wood hole, right? Maybe it's just a hit a 7-iron and keep it safe kind of hole. So there is the reality that if a hole is your kryptonite, it may be because you are doing something wrong. Not execution in your swing, but maybe you're choosing the wrong club choice, wrong course management strategy. So you do have to evaluate, all right, am I doing something wrong? If it's a hole where, like the last one, it's pretty straightforward, you hit it straight, you know, and that's kind of it. Well, then it may be a mental thing. But if it is a technical thing where I'm like, all right, I always hit it into those trees to the right. One, this falls back into thought number one is, well, don't tell yourself, don't hit it into those trees, right? We want the set of instructions to be, where do I want this to go? But it may be choosing a different club. Experiment a little bit, right? Don't force yourself to use the same club that you hit it into the woods on the same hole into the water every single time. It obviously ain't working, so change it up a little bit. Smoked it. Does this sound like you? Man, I hit a great tee shot. I smoked that one. That was perfect. Right in the fairway. I gotta make this one count. Oh man, I always fuck up the second shot. Oh no. Damn it. It is one of those situations where you don't want to tell yourself, well, what did I do on the last shot? Whether it's good or bad, you only want to be present with what's going on right here. What do I need to do right here? If I'm telling myself that last shot was perfect, I'm going to likely produce a lot of anxiety about what I need to do for this shot. And that doesn't do me any good. That doesn't change what I need to do here. And I need to hit this 8-iron onto the green. That's what I want to happen. And whether my last shot was good or bad, that doesn't change what I'm gonna do. Or at least try to do. And there we did it. Even if you thin it, you can still win it. Alternatively, we don't want to end up in a position where we hit a bad tee shot or previous shot and we're like, oh, man, if I wasn't in this shot right here, well, we are. Nothing that I did last shot is going to change what I need to do right here. I'm in the shit, I'm in a divot. It doesn't matter because it doesn't change anything. Fighting against what happened previously is not going to change what I need to do right now. The faster you accept that, all right, this is what I got to do right here, well, then the faster you can get back to hitting good golf shots. Okay, let me present a scenario to you and a thought that plagues us all that I was into not too long ago. You can watch that video. All right, here we go. You got a nice easy chip. Oh, why did you hit it so fucking far over the hole, man? Now I need to get it up and down to save a bogey, and I'm in a divot. Oh my goodness. Oh, come on, one more yard, it would have been perfect. You know what, I give up. Oh, whatever, Does that sound like you? It sounded like me not too long ago. And you can watch that video. Now, let's talk about that. The thought that, hey, I need to hit this shot perfectly to save par or to save a bogey or to save a double bogey, it's a very self-deflating, self-destructive thought because it adds a lot of pressure onto what you need to do and you're focusing about your score as opposed to what do I need to do right here. And if it's anything but perfection, you're gonna be disappointed and that disappointment's gonna go on to the next hole, it's gonna go on to the next shot, it's going to plague you maybe all day. If I let that example of a bad hole get to me here, well now what am I gonna do for this tee shot? Well, I'm gonna fuck up my tee shot because I'm thinking about, oh, Well, now I just got a max over there. My score is ruined. What do I need to do? I need to, if I get an eagle here, maybe I can work my score back. If I get a birdie here, all right, then I get 2 back, and then I got to make, you know what? You don't need to think about that. Leave the scorecard, drop it off at daycare, come back on the 18th hole, and pick it up after you're done. You don't need to worry about your score at any point in your round. If you can keep your score mentally or on an app and you like to look at it and keep those numbers intact, cool, do your thing. But for most people, we're probably just going to get in our own way by thinking about or tallying up our score when it's not done yet. Even on a shot where I'm like, all right, I need to hit this perfectly because I just made a quadruple over there, that's not gonna do me any good, and it's not gonna change anything that I need to do besides putting more stress, and your body can only handle so much stress. So all I wanna think about here is, okay, say my score is really, I'm bleeding profusely. My lips are cold. I'm bleeding, I'm hemorrhaging everywhere. All right, that may be the reality and we need to stop the bleeding. Well, that goes to, all right, I need to play safer. I'm not going to beat myself up for everything that has happened. I'm just gonna say, all right, play safe. Maybe take the driver out of your hand, maybe move to a wood, whatever it is, but I need to stop the bleeding. Maybe swing easy. Maybe it's that simple. And it is that simple. We're in the fairway. And I lost my tee. Don't get the scores caught up in your head because that's gonna mess you up quickly. Another big thought that you don't wanna get trapped in is the delusional thought that I can hit this shot. I've never practiced it. I don't ever use this club, but you know what? I can do it. There is a balance between feeling confident and listening to your gut on what should I do for this shot. There's also the reality that I don't have the shot in the bag. And I have to accept that. The more you try to force shots that you don't have, well, the more you're gonna fuck up your round. If you don't care about score, go do whatever you wanna do. But if I don't have the shot in the bag, well then what am I hoping for? I'm just hitting and hoping, and that's not gonna do me any good. And then I end up hitting into the trees because I don't have that shot. So why did I do that? Now I need to recover because I'm hitting a shot that I don't have. Instead, I could just lay up and move on. I'm in the rough. It's going to be hard to make good contact from here. You know what? I'm just gonna choose a club where I can lay up and I'll be all right. Simple. Oh, so much mud on this. Oh, I'm playing so bad today. I normally don't even play this bad. Okay, well, that could be true, but you are today. What are you gonna do about it? Well, you need to relax, man. It's okay. Well, relax, girl. It's all right. Chill. We all have off days. Even a single-digit handicap can shoot 90. You're gonna have one of those days. Today may not be your day. If every round is a bad round, well, then it's more of a mental thing. I mean, one, you're playing golf, so it's a game, right? But if every round is not going the way that you want it, well, you obviously don't have the skill that you were telling yourself that you have. And that's okay. We need to adjust our reality setting a little bit. If day is off, if I tell myself, all right, today I'm gonna go out, break 90, break 80, break 100, and I go out there and I make a quadruple on the first hole, well, okay, today, maybe today's not the day. I'm just gonna enjoy playing golf. There's a lot more things to enjoy. There's a lot more things to golf than just scoring. And that's what you gotta remember. I like being outdoors and hitting it into bunkers. But sometimes you just gotta enjoy golf. Turn your mind off a little bit, hit the ball, have some fun, relax yourself. Try to not let your thoughts affect your golf game. And I don't know, subscribe so you get better too.